All right, so now it's time for challenge 8. And the goal for this challenge is to update the code so that when we go over to our compose page and we type something, let's say day 1, right? And we click publish, then it should be able to console log what we typed in here into our console. So that means if we typed something else, say another post, and we click publish, then we should see that immediately in our console. So this one is a little bit more challenging, but there's nothing new here and you should be able to complete it, or at least give it a really good go. So pause the video and complete the challenge now. All right, here's your first hint. Inside our compose.ejs, currently we've only got an input and a button. In order for this to actually make a post request to our server, we're going to have to put it inside a form so that when we submit the form, we can pass over the value that the user typed into this input over to our app.js. So pause the video and see if you can use that knowledge to complete the challenge. All right, back for another hint. So let's add our form into our compose.ejs, and I'm going to put the input and the button inside that form. Now you need to make sure that the button is of type submit so that when you actually click on it, it will submit all the content in the form. Now the other thing you have to check is that your form has a method of post and that the action is the route that you're going to handle inside your app.js. So a good one might be /compose. So we post to the /compose route, and we have an input that is of type text that needs to have a name, and we have a button that submits the form. So now see if that was enough for you to be able to complete the challenge. Okay, here's hint 3. In order for us to be able to tap into the value of the input that the user puts into this text box, we have to give it a name. So let's call it something like post title, because this is what we're going to use a little bit later on. Now, it doesn't matter if you called it something else, as long as you remember what the name for this input was. Now, once we submit this form, then it's going to go over to our app.js and it's going to try and make a post request to the /compose route. Now, currently, we don't actually address what should happen when somebody makes a post request to that route. We only address what should happen when somebody makes a GET request to that route. So you're going to need to add a post method inside here to tell the server what it should do when somebody makes a post request to the /compose route. See if that was enough for you to be able to now complete the challenge.